Where's the fire? Why are we in such a hurry to learn to draw as fast as we can? We're going to talk about that. And speaking of fire, we're going to work on this firefighter mech drawing. Greetings, people of the internet. I'm Scott with Serkworks Art Labs. Welcome, mad creators, to the underground laboratory where we create robots, aliens, zombies, and other imminent threats to humanity. And we are going to get to drawing some robots in just a minute. But the topic today, what I wanted to talk about, was kind of prompted by a video that I did recently. It may have been in the last video I did, actually. But that was a video on views. So in doing that, I was doing some keyword research, trying to figure out how to tag my video and everything. So I typed in how to get views. And the first thing, even before that popped up, what came up was how to get views fast, or how to get subscribers fast, or how to get views quickly, or whatever. And so I started to think, you know, it's almost like people just want things right now. They don't want to really put the time into it. Like if you're building a YouTube channel, you know, that's something that's going to take time. It's not necessarily something that's just going to come quickly like that. Now, maybe there are some shortcuts to help you bring in views or whatever. You know, that kind of thing fast, but I think a lot of it just has to do with putting in the time and, you know, a little bit of patience. And I was thinking how that relates to drawing or learning how to draw. If you want to learn how to draw, that's something that you're going to have to invest some time in. It's for most people, it's just not going to come to you that quickly. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today, was kind of this urgency to learn how to draw really fast, and how that might not be so realistic, and maybe we should rethink that you know, that mindset or whatever. So anyway, I am going to work on a drawing of a robot mech. We're gonna ink this guy, color him up, and do all that kind of stuff. So let's get to it. So if I was to say to you, if I was to go, hey man, come here, I got this awesome opportunity for you, you know, you're going to be so successful, you're going to be rich beyond your wildest dreams, and here's the thing, it's not going to take you any time at all, it's super quick, you don't have to put any effort into it or anything, it's just awesome. You'd probably be really skeptical, wouldn't you? You'd probably like run for the hills, or at least try to find a way to get out of this thing real quick. So why is it any different when it comes to learning how to draw or learning how to do any of these things? I think we're always looking for a shortcut or a fast way to do something like that. And unfortunately, in learning a skill, and you know, of course we're artists or aspiring to be artists or whatever, so we're going to talk about drawing, but really this pertains to almost any kind of skill like that. It takes time, and you have to invest that time if you want to get good. And I just don't understand the idea or the mindset that we're able to do this super quickly and just get it out of the way, and we're going to be great and everything just like that. Okay, now here's another question, and be honest, if I was to ask you, do you consider yourself a patient person? And if somebody was to ask me, I would probably say, yeah, I'm patient. So I mean, I'm not the kind of person that, like, you know, I can hold a secret, I can keep a secret or whatever. If it's something that, you know, you can't let out right away, it's not like I'm chomping at the bit to just shout something out, or say if it's like Christmas presents or something like that, I'm not trying to sneak in to see what it is. I'm pretty patient about that. I'm willing to kind of wait and just let that happen when it's supposed to happen. But if I really think about it, if I have to be honest with myself, there's a lot of situations where I am not very patient, not at all. I mean, especially if I have, I don't like to waste time. I like to, if I need to get somewhere, if I'm driving or whatever, and I'm behind somebody who's going under the speed limit, I get frustrated. I'm trying to zoom around them, and I just don't like to waste time. So, and I'm going to go to a little story. So I don't know if you guys have Salad and Goes. They're these kind of drive-through place where you can get the salad, you can get these salads or whatever. I'm sure there's other things like it. We've also have Dutch Brothers Coffee, which is kind of the same thing. It's just this little shop. You can't really eat inside. It's just basically a drive-through. And so with like a Dutch Brothers or a Salad and Go, at least in my area, the line is always, I mean, it just wraps around. and especially on lunch. So I've got one that I go to pick up a salad when I'm on lunch and everything. And you pull in the parking lot, and there's just this line that kind of wraps around. And the thing is, you look up, and there's a little walk-up window. And there might be 2 or 3 people at the walk-up window, but the cars just line up around. And I'm like, oh, this is crazy. Why am I going to wait in line? When I could just, so what I do is I park my car, I walk up to the window, and the surface is usually pretty quick. And I am back in my car and probably back at my office by the time some of these cars even get through. And to me, that is just so crazy, because why are you wasting your time? And I think to me, it's like, man, these people are lazy. If they would just get out of their car and go up to the window, it wouldn't take as long, but they'd rather sit in the car and just sit there and wait. And to me, that's like a colossal waste of time. The other thing is, like, if you're going to a grocery store, and the people that kind of want that parking lot or that parking spot right up front, they'll sit there and they'll wait for somebody to get in their car, and half the time there's people behind them that they're just tying up all the traffic just so they can park right up front. And how lazy do you have to be? Now I'm going to make, obviously there are situations, if you're somebody with a disability that has difficulty walking or whatever, that's an entirely different story. But I don't think that's the case with a lot of people like this. And if you are in that situation, hopefully there are spots available for you to park. But anyway, so it's the same thing. I will park further back. And then I will just walk, and I like to walk fast. Again, this is the thing about me not wanting to waste time, and I will be in that store before that person even parks. So that kind of stuff drives me crazy. So when in those situations, I am definitely not patient. I am not a patient person when it comes to that, because to me, that kind of thing can be avoided, to me. But there's a difference. It's not the same with drawing. I don't think you can avoid, or I don't think you can circumvent the time that it takes that you need to put into being a great artist. Now, here's the difference to me as to why I don't mind. It's not that big a deal for me to spend time learning to draw, putting in the time, as opposed to waiting in a line. To me, the difference is, there's a difference between wasting time and investing your time. And with drawing, it's very much an investment, whereas waiting in line, as long as, if there's no other option, if there's a way to not wait in line, I'm not going to wait in line. And I'm not talking about cutting or doing anything like that. But like I said, if I can park my car and walk in there quicker than it takes for a person to just wait for somebody to pull back in, I am not about to waste my time waiting for a car to pull out. All right, so that's the difference. There's no benefit or end goal to waiting in a line if you can avoid it. Sure, if you're waiting in a line, there's something you're going to get at the end usually, whether you're at a line at Disneyland or whatever. And again, if it's Disneyland, if there's a way to take a fast pass, great. But if that's your only option, then I'm fine waiting in a line, all right? But with art, it's different. The time you spend isn't just wasted. As every minute you spend learning to draw or practicing, you're one step closer to being a better artist. You really need to think of the time you spend working on your art as an investment, and I think that's gonna help you out. And unfortunately, when it does come to art, it's a little different. I think people understand a lot of other areas. They understand that you need to practice, or you need to put in time or whatever to get better at something. With art, a lot of times people just assume that, they say, oh, you're so talented, like it doesn't take any time to learn, or you don't have to put any effort, you're just magic. It's like, oh, I can't draw a straight line with a ruler, and that I hear that so many times. But like, if you were to equate that to sports, like a basketball star, say you're LeBron James, and I don't know much about sports. I only know LeBron James because he was in a movie and he's pretty funny, but I know he's a big basketball star. So anyway, but I'm pretty sure most people assume that he had to practice to get to be where he was, that he didn't just wake up one day and he was just this awesome basketball player. All right, but with art, it's kind of, there's this assumption that it's just kind of like this magic thing that you do. But as artists, hopefully understand that it does take time to get better. So how long does it take to get good at art? Well, it's subjective. I mean, for everyone, it's a little different. All right. But it really depends on how much time you spend. Malcolm Gladwell talks about the 10,000 hour rule, where it takes 10,000 hours, or roughly, if you're actually putting the time daily and doing all this stuff, it takes about 10 years to really get good at something, to the point where, you know, you kind of create your masterpiece. And he's done, in his book Outliers, they've done all this research on all these different people that have created great things, and it's almost to a T, it's about that same amount of time. So you kind of have to be ready for that. And if that scares you, then maybe art isn't the best thing for you. Maybe, you know, as far as from a professional standpoint, if you want to be a professional doing this, or if you just want to just be this great artist, if that's sort of a put off, that you got to put in that much time, then this might not be the thing for you, as a professional. If you just want to draw because you love it, because it's fun and everything, that's an entirely different story. So yes, there is the research that shows that this 10,000 hour rule, but like I said, it can be subjective. There are people that can learn a lot faster, but I find that a lot of times people that learn quickly, it may not take them as long as far as per years, but they may be just diving head deep into this thing and really putting everything they have into learning it. I follow a guy named Christopher Keiko on, I think it's Keiko, but he does these vlogs about him doing comic conventions and everything. And he's, I guess early in his career, he was a mechanic, I think, or and he probably always had a passion for drawing, but I don't think he kind of alludes to the fact that he just recently started getting serious about drawing, like maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. And the guy's awesome, and he's doing things like, you know, not necessarily Kim Jong-gi level, but he's doing that kind of thing where he draws freehand without any preliminary sketches or anything, and the stuff is really good. And it's like, I look at that and like, I'm amazed, and like, wait, this guy, I've been drawing this long, and this guy for what, like 4 or 5 years, and he's this good. I mean, I might as well give up. But that's, you know, there are people that can pick things up like that, but I know that he's putting a bunch of time in, because he's just running himself ragged doing all these conventions and things like that. And I know when he's not doing the conventions, he's sitting there practicing and drawing. So, you know, if you really want to, you know, run the gauntlet or whatever, throw down the gauntlet and challenge yourself to, you know, to put in, like, you know, 12-hour days just learning how to draw, you can probably pick up that pace. But all in all, that's kind of, you know, it's going to take that time to really get good, and that kind of dedication. But I think you really have to want it. You have to want to become a great artist, because if it's just sort of like, oh, this would be fun to do or whatever, it's probably not going to work out for you that well. It's kind of like everyone says, oh, I wish I could draw, or back to the thing about, oh, I can't draw a straight line with the ruler, but I wish I could. Oh man, it's amazing what you do. And but you have to, when they say that they wish they could draw, it's like, well, do you really? Because, you know, I say the same thing when it comes to, like, when I meet a musician or whatever, and it's like, and you know, some really good musician or whatever, I'm like, oh man, that's amazing. I wish I could play guitar. I wish I could play drums, but if I have to be honest with myself, no, I probably don't. Because if I really cared that much, if I really wanted to play guitar or play drums, then I would actually put the effort in and try to learn to do so. And I haven't really made step one to do that. So as much as it's fun to think about, oh, it would be cool if I could play guitar, I really, you know, I have to be honest. I mean, I must not care that much about it if I haven't put in any effort at all into it. And, you know, it's going to take a lot of effort. It's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of dedication. It's going to, you know, but the good thing is it's not like you wake up, you start one day and you're horrible, and then you keep working and working and working and you're still horrible, and then all of a sudden it clicks. It's not like that. This is, you know, you will gradually get better, and you will start to see a progression. I'm never going to be the artist I want to be. You know, I'm never going to be that good. There's just no way. But I'm always getting better and better, and the more I draw, the better I get. And so, you know, that's kind of the mindset you got to be in. And as long as you're putting the time, you will keep getting better. So there are rewards along the way. Even though it takes a long time,
it's not like you're in this vacuum or whatever. I mean, you're going to see your progression, and it's going to, hopefully you can look back and say, oh man, look where I was before, look where I am now, and if I put that same amount of time in a couple years from now, I'll be even better, and I'll reach kind of that point. So, again, it's going to take practice. You're going to have to put in time, and don't kid yourself. There's a long road ahead, but if you stick to it, and if you have that drive and everything, and if you're putting in the time daily, it's not just watching videos. You've got to also be drawing and everything. You've got to draw, and you will get better, because this is learning to draw. I mean, it's not. How do I put this? It's more of a journey, okay? So think of it as a journey. Don't think of it as there's point. I'm here, and then tomorrow I want to be here or whatever. There's a journey there, and you got to kind of make your own journey. And you got to practice. You got to put in the time and everything, and and it will take time. You can't sugarcoat it. There's no shortcuts, but you put in the time, and and just follow that destination, enjoy that journey, and you'll get there, and put in the time, and you will be a great artist.
All right, so there you go. There is our firefighter mech. Pretty happy with the way this guy came out. I want to start doing some more mechs, some colored things. I've been doing a lot of blueprint stuff, but I'd like doing these color things. I've got to get back into doing more of those. But anyway, so based on the topic, I want to get your feedback. If you're an artist that's just starting out, how do you feel about, are you kind of in that mindset where you just want to learn to draw as quickly as you can? Do you realize that it's going to take time to get better, and you're willing to put in that time? If you've been drawing for a while, how long did it take before you start getting comfortable or felt that you were good? I've been drawing for a long time, and I still know that I can be a lot better. I know the more I practice, the better I get. So anyway, give me your feedback in the comments section. I'd love to hear it, and I will talk to you guys later. That is all.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining me here in the Art Lab. There's a lot of other great content on the channel, so click that subscribe button and you won't miss a thing. If you're an aspiring evil genius, visit Serkworks.com for all your mad science supply needs. And if you want to contact me, hit me up in the comments section or follow me on social media. I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you then.